couple of weeks back, I had that BOSE Wave radio, you know, the one that the CD player, the spindle clamp came apart, and I had to glue it back into place. Well, today we're going to look at the optional 3-disc changer that goes with that. Same person owns it. I just hadn't had a chance to get to it till today. This one here is jammed apparently, and it won't play any CDs. So we're going to rip this one apart and see if we can get this one operational. Let's check it out. These are always my favorite units to work on, and I'm being sarcastic when I say that. No, they're not. They're not my favorite units to work on. This is the 3-disc adapter for the BOSE Wave radio. We got the radio, we got the CD player working on the radio last week, but this is the CD player that went with it, and apparently it has a problem as well. Oh, look, made in USA. The radio is made in Mexico, but the changer is made in USA. Apparently this has an issue. The reason I'm not putting any disc into it is I don't want to risk damaging it further if it's what I think it is, which I'm pretty sure it is. The thing with these is there's no parts. I tried to get that cable once, and because somebody had bent the pin over on it when they shoved it in, they didn't put it in straight, and they broke one of the pins off. And we tried to get a cable for one, and no, parts not available. What happens a lot on these is little gears break. Little tiny plastic gears have a tendency to break. All right, let's see what it's doing. Looking to see if the gears are broken right now. See if there's any of these little gears that have shattered. They have switches in them that give us trouble. Maybe I should check those first. We'll unplug the drive. I'll pop the drive out, and we'll look at the switches on the bottom. Maybe give them a clean. To unplug it from here. That one doesn't come undone. Not yet anyway. We'll just lift the deck out. Put the base out of the way. There's all these little micro switches that give us trouble. Like ones like this guy right here. These little micro switches cause a lot of issues. And there's another couple switches on this little board here, if I'm not mistaken. We'll just swing this board out of the way. The one that says do not reuse. I probably should put the jumper on here just to protect the laser diode. So I'm just going to put a little blob of solder on there so that when I disconnect the board, the laser isn't exposed to ESD, even though the air right now is not exactly dry. It's fairly humid. So I don't think we'll have any ESD problems, but better safe than sorry. So that's just to put a dead short across the laser diode so that when it's disconnected, We don't have to worry about it getting zapped. There are micro switches on here that detect what is going on, like to detect where the mechanism is. There's one under here for sure, and I think there's one under here as well, under this little plate here. If I move this mechanism, we should see it. How did I do this? I forget which one moves it. Yeah, there's switches right here. And when this plate slides back and forth, there's little switches that pop up. You'll see it here. See a little switch right there? One little switch there, and there's another one on the other side. I'll give these a shot of cleaner. These switches cause a lot of issues. Send that back the other way to get to the other switch. There's another one underneath here. Here's the other one on this side. I'll give that one a shot of cleaner. And give this one down here a shot of cleaner. There's two more little switches here, you see. These switches get gummed up, and when they get gummed up, you end up with errors being read, and that causes the mechanism to mess up. They ride along on the cam here on the bottom side. There are 3 more switches. Actually, there's more than 3. There's 4 more switches on the back here. I'm just inspecting the gears. They look like they're okay. I don't see anything, like I don't see it going down crooked. Sometimes the gears break and you end up with this thing going up and down crooked, but there's 3 more switches on the back here. And then there's this main mode switch here. This is a linear switch. I'm going to give this one a shot of cleaner. Get that clean. And we'll give these switches a shot of cleaner down here. They got a lot of mechanical switches on this machine. The little pin switches there are they're right here, and they get activated by these little levers. So we got to give those a shot of cleaner too. These are the ones that get depressed when there's a disc in place. These little switches here. If you can see what I'm doing or not, but I'm just activating them. When you put a disc in, each one of these levers will close down to represent that there's a disc installed. That's how the system knows that there's a disc installed there versus no disc. I'll now throw the board back in place, and we'll plug it in and see if it works. I like that. Do not reuse, or else what are you going to do if I reuse it? Just remove that. That's the short circuit I put in to protect the laser when it was disconnected from the circuitry. So now I'll just reinstall the unit. And then we'll try it out and see if it works. Fingers crossed, that's all it needed. Because these units here are not easy to work on. They're not at all easy to work on. Especially when those little plastic gears that operate the mechanism start to crack or break. And then the mechanism gets out of alignment, so it's not going up and down straight. Okay, I guess I can test it now. We'll plug in the power. Power cord goes into this, and then this plugs into the other unit. And I got 3 discs, the one that was in the other player, and I got 2 more to load here. I'll plug in the power. Let it go through its initialization setup. Okay, disc 3, disc 2, disc 1. That works. How do I change discs on here? Okay, there's disc 1. I don't know how to work this thing. That's the problem. Oh, okay, I pressed the disc button. Okay, that's how I do it. Disc 2, it's on now. That's how I do it. Hit the CD button. Hit the CD button and it changes discs. Okay, that's disc 2 that I'm on now. Or it's going to. Okay, disc 2. Hit the button here, go to disc 3. Disc 1 is in here. Disc 2, 3, and 4 are in the other one. And disc 4. Okay, so it's working. Excellent. Okay, let me see if I can eject these discs now here. Stop, eject. How do I get the stop? Eject. This should kick out this disc. And I should be able to do the same for the other discs. There's disc number 4 is removed. Let's take out disc 2. So I'll go to select CD disc number 2, eject. Disc 3. Disc 2, there's no disc, okay. And disc 3, I want to eject that, so I press eject. Okay, I think this one's good. I think this one's good now. I can just unplug it and put it back together. But this one's now functional. The complaint on it was it wouldn't play any discs. And what happens on these is those little switches that I just cleaned, well, they cause the problem. The switches get dirty and it doesn't read them properly, and then the machine jams up. And what can happen when they get really bad is, especially when people repeatedly try to use it without cleaning them, is that it can actually break these gears on the elevator. This one here gets dirty. This is one that tells the controller, the microcontroller, what position it's in. And when this one gets dirty, it doesn't read it properly, and it'll try to drive it down too far or too high, and it end up basically breaking teeth off gears. I've seen a few of those, and it's my success on these, it depends on how far it is. If the gears are broken, I kind of give up. But if the gears aren't broken, then just doing what I just did will generally fix the problem. And now this one's fixed again. My neighbor's going to be real thrilled. I told him I had the main hose going, but I hadn't got to the changer yet. So he was anxious to hear from me, and now I can give him the good news that the changer is now functional as well. Plug that in, drop the cover on, throw in the screws, and we'll test it one last time. I'll load a disc there, and I'll load 3 more discs. Lights up green when it's playing the disc, and the other 2 are yellow. Next disc, it's got green. There we go. Now, what I like about the player I've got is that the unit will play MP3 encoded discs. So literally, I'll take a disc and I'll burn a bunch of tracks on it in MP3 and throw it in the player and just let it play. So missing the changer really. I mean, this will do MP3s as well. You can have 4 MP3 encoded discs on here and have like literally, several hundred tracks of music to play all at once. It's a nice unit in that respect. I like it. But if a changer were to come my way that I could get for nothing, but they don't come up. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.